Do you love the Premier League? Because I know I do. And here at the Footy Culture, we are here to bless you with an exclusive discount from our friends at Fubo TV, where you can stream all the Premier League matches live in 4K. Do you love watching Heung-min Son, Bukayo Saka, Manchester United? All of that is available to stream exclusively here in Canada on Fubo TV. So hit our link in the bio for that exclusive offer. Now let's get into the action.
Welcome back to another podcast with the Footy Culture Boys. Today we have myself on the couch, on the bench over here. We got James, Matt, Jay. And then on the table over there, we got Daniel and Davide.
Come on, Gunners, one more game.
The hot table.
The hot table, baby. Speaking of the Gunners, let's start off hot with the hot table. Last day championship title. We haven't seen this since what? Man City, Man United? When Man City went on to win the league, I believe so.
What year was that again?
The Aguero.
I don't remember the exact year. Maybe
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so.
No, there was that Liverpool season too.
I don't think that went to the last
I
day.
think it went to the last day. Though.
I think it was like second last day.
It's been a minute since like it was like a last day.
Gotta love those ones though.
But anyway,
This is what football's about. Yeah.
City are going on to play Spurs, which is obviously the bigger game. Do we see Manchester City dropping points to the Spurs team? I see a lot of actually Spurs fans that want Spurs to lose because they don't want Arsenal, their rival, to win the championship trophy.
Yeah.
So what do we see?
At this point, it doesn't matter, man. Like they're far gone.
No, yeah, for Spurs
Like-
it doesn't matter.
If Arsenal get another trophy, what's the difference?
Oh, for that,
Yeah.
yeah.
You could say the same thing about when Arsenal faced Man United. Man United, did they really play their best game?
No, I told Anthony to play left back. So.
The man played left back.
That's Batman, dude.
Customers playing center back.
Yeah, that was wild.
Like,
That's
yeah, they
Batman.
the Spurs are gonna do the exact same thing Man U did.
Yeah, I think it'll be tough because I think Spurs, they like to play attacking football anyway. They like to really go for it, and I think that'll play into City's hands. Like, to be honest, like I think it'll probably be a thrashing. Like I'm thinking like a 4-0 or like a 4-1. Like I think City are gonna pump them.
Yeah, like
To be completely
if
honest.
City can't beat Ange's high line, they don't deserve to win the title.
Yeah.
That's it.
But my argument is that Spurs can technically still make it into Champions League. They have 2 games, 6 points.
Villa
Villa are only up by 5 points or 4 points. So if Villa lose their last game and Spurs win their next 2 games,
5 points. Villa
It'll be 2 points if Spurs go on to win.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
it'll be 2.
but it'll come down to the last game where
Yeah.
Spurs, if they win, Aston Villa can drop points, and then at that point, even today, like they came up and they tied out Liverpool.
good result.
Good result, but
3-3.
Blew a
But-
3-1 lead, by the way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if they win or lose or tie would have made a difference. If they won the game, it would have changed things.
Yeah.
If they won this game, it would have changed things. Spurs probably wouldn't have cared to come out guns blazing. But Spurs need to win this game to try to get that last CL spot.
Is it wrong to think that? Well, at least I think that Spurs could come and win this for some reason. For some reason, I think they could come and win this.
They
I
could,
think
they
so.
could, but they
I
won't.
think like Spurs can just do a little madness on us and just like, and
On
I wouldn't be
us.
surprised
On us.
on
He's
on,
wearing Arsenal.
on footy fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
general.
I mean, dude, if there's any team that can do it, like the way Spurs have been playing some games this season under Ange, they've been a good team. They've been a tough team to watch. Not a tough team to watch, a tough team to beat for a lot of teams. But I don't know. I think City, when it comes to crunch time, this point in the season, I think they're ready for it. They're having goals from everywhere. And I think that's the big thing too. It's not just like Spurs need to worry about defending Haaland. Like, dude, Gvardiol's coming up scoring braces.
Yeah.
Like every game, it seems like it's a different player stepping up. So I think when a team's running like that, it's gonna be tough to beat. Like,
I think didn't Ange have something happen in an interview recently?
Yeah. Do you know what it is?
No,
you wanna say it?
Kind of, but you go ahead.
No, he pretty much said he was pretty much bashing the Spurs fans for saying if you would rather lose, as a fan you shouldn't want to lose games, even if it means your rival winning something more important. You should always want to win every game you go to, pretty much.
No, you're exactly right. Morally, it's treacherous, but I think Tottenham fans' hatred for Arsenal soars higher than anything else.
It might.
Arsenal literally won the league at White Hart Lane twice.
that's
Okay.
They hate the Gunners.
So you'd rather Barca lose and like for sure not getting Champions League, because if you lose, you're done pretty much. Or Real Madrid go on to win the title, obviously.
It's a little different because Barca missing the Champions League is catastrophic, especially in La Liga. Like if you don't make top 4 in La Liga, especially as Barcelona, it's a problem. But it's hard to make top 4 in the Prem, and Spurs aren't this consistent club in which they're making top 4 every single year. They're not even one of the top 4 biggest clubs in the league. So
it's just stupid for me, for fans to even consider that as an option. Like if you go to Champions League, you bring more eyes to your club, you can get more money, you can
Sign better players.
You have a gaffer that can do that. Their form in the beginning of the season was so well that I feel like their injuries screwed them over halfway through the season. Van de Ven, Romero, even Madison. Like having those players, and even maybe getting some players to support them a little bit more depth. Like, dude, you're fighting for top 4 weekend, like yearly.
Yeah.
Not yearly. You're going to come back and fight for top 4 next year, but at least you're going to be a more relevant club than be a top 5, top 6 club.
Yeah, go.
I think what ruined Spurs the most is the hard head that Ange has for his style of play. Everyone's saying it. The fans are saying it. He's saying he's never going to switch his style of play no matter what anyone says. That has a huge impact. And I think that had a huge impact in this season for him.
Yeah, we were saying this. We definitely talked about this before, because before we were saying we like that Ange keeps it to his style play, even when they remember that game when they got a red card. I think it was Romero.
Yeah.
And they conceding 2 more goals or something.
Yeah, but we were saying actually I don't remember who was saying
it was the argument, like whether defend and keep the lead or keep the tie, or keep going to get the win. But at that point, I think they were tied.
I think they were 1 down, but they were actually, they might have been tied. Either way, he kept his tactics and with the man down and went for the win. And as Dave is saying, maybe that hindered them a little bit. I know they had problems at center back where they had Davies and Emerson playing as the 2 center backs, which is a left back and a right back. So he had his problems, but to not adjust something to the players that you have instead of adjust just solely on that one tactic is, I don't know if it's the best for that Spurs team.
And when that game happened, I agreed with Ange. I liked the way he was, hard-headed, and he continued with that style of play. But I think for him to do it every game, you're starting to think, this is too much now. Like,
I like
you
it.
should. Yeah, I liked it for that game. I like it for here and there games.
No.
But for every game, like there has to be sometimes you have to switch it up.
I liked it because it probably brought more exciting football for the Spurs team in general. Like as like a football fan and as like a fan, like sure you don't get the results always, but it's just more exciting.
Yeah.
I think the only thing they need is just a little bit more depth so they can continue that style of football with the right players.
Is it exciting to get pummeled though? Every game?
They don't really get pummeled.
They've been getting pummeled some games.
No, dude, you can't say they've been getting pummeled every game if they're
Not
fighting
every
for a
game.
Champions League
He said some games.
Yeah.
I know there's that one game against Newcastle a couple weeks ago.
4-0, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But the thing is, Newcastle sometimes will go on those runs where
And
they'll
they'll also like get the poor run of
they'll
form.
also get pummeled sometimes. That's just like
They're kind of similar.
that kind of like high mid-table teams, like the Newcastle, like your Uniteds, like your Chelseas, like your Villa, Spurs. Like sometimes these teams, like you don't know which version of that team you're gonna get. And at the end of the day, like this season, it's been that top 3 has been pretty steady, been pretty consistent. That 4th, 5th, 6th place team has been the team that you don't know what you're gonna get. And I guess whatever team ends up being a little bit more consistent than the others, which is looking like Villa at this point, is going to secure that last Champions League place, right? But I think at the end of the day, with a gaffer like Ange especially, they're going to go out there to win the game. They're not going to roll over for City. They're going to go out there. They're going to play their football. They're going to try to put City under pressure. And honestly, that's probably gives them a better chance of winning. If you go out there with the idea of sitting back against City, it's inevitable. You're going to lose. Mm-hmm. Eventually, you're going to get through. They'll break through that deep line, the low block. They'll score, and it's a wrap. But if you actually put pressure on City, you look to attack City, that's when sometimes you can expose their frailties a little bit because they're not used to that. City are used to going out there, keeping 70% of possession, just kind of ticking the ball around until they score. But if you actually go at them, which I think Ange will do, at least you can cause them a little bit of pressure, right? Put them under more pressure than they're under and see what they're made of, right? So I think that's what Ange will do. I think Spurs will go for it, but I still think City will win.
Okay.
So what's the best result here for tomorrow's fixture?
For who?
For both teams. Well, for Arsenal. Is it
obviously,
either a tie or a loss or?
Obviously, they want Spurs to win if you're Arsenal.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is a tie good enough?
If they tie, they'll be level on points going into the last match day, which is going to put it into a scenario. If
Hopefully
they
that'd be
both
sick.
win, then it's going to come down to goal difference.
Arsenal.
Arsenal
now.
are winning right now, but obviously City
Does it
can
not
go
go head to head first?
I think it's goal difference.
No, it's always been goal difference for
Yeah.
Prem.
It's only 3 goals difference
Yeah.
between Arsenal and
It
City.
is pretty heavy. But considering that Spurs and City tied 3-3 in their first leg in the season, and then City also beat them 1-0 only in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they've been thrashing them this season.
Yeah.
Like it can be pretty competitive.
That's why, man. I kind of have Spurs winning this.
The funny thing is, City's been bad against top 6 teams this year.
Yeah.
So
Well, the whole top 6 has been bad against each other.
besides
No,
Arsenal,
Arsenal
Arsenal's
haven't
undefeated.
lost against anyone.
They've tied every game.
it's
They haven't
still
lost.
undefeated.
Still a
Yeah.
beaten.
Okay, so
Hey,
then
That's mid to me.
let's ask the question. I know you have another question about Arsenal, but we'll get back to that. Where do we see, or who do we see at the top of the table at the end of the last match day? So City has to play Tottenham and then West Ham, and then Arsenal has to play Everton. Those are the matchups.
No one's talking about how Everton can cause problems too.
They've been in good form.
Right? Everton have been in good form. They could easily squeak out a draw. Who knows, right? The pressure mounts on Arsenal. Me personally, I think it'll be City.
City.
I think it'll be City. I think they'll win out both games, but I think the last day will be exciting for sure.
City for sure. City, Arsenal, Pool, Villa.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
2-0 City right now. Jason.
City are inevitable, man. I say it every season. The season starts with City and it ends with City.
3-0.
They got the win. They got
It's
the
gonna be a
championship. They
clean
got the Premier
sweep.
League.
Jeez.
I got Arsenal.
Oh,
Damn.
I think
shout out
Arsenal
to
can do it.
Gunners.
I think Arsenal can do it. Not because I'm a United fan.
Really?
I don't give a fuck about United anymore.
Damn.
I'm an Arsenal
heard it
fan.
here
We're an
first.
Arsenal fan the next weekend.
That's crazy.
Dan's on loan.
Another loan spell.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's my Sanchez.
4 in one
He's
season.
been bouncing around.
4 in
Yeah.
one season.
Journeyman over here.
Yeah.
I want to speak with my heart, but I gotta speak with the mind, bro.
with your badge.
Speak of the Willie.
I want to speak with my heart, but I got City winning this. At the
Dude,
end
you
of
were
the
just
day,
saying you had Arsenal like 5 seconds ago.
let's be realistic, man. City's winning this. It's obvious.
It's the wishy-washy guy.
No, it's not wishy-washy.
You just said you could see Spurs beating City.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're gonna win the league. That Arsenal's gonna win the league still.
I guess, but
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
okay.
I got to say, like, they've been through this many times. It's nothing new for them. This is something new for them. When's the last time they won the league?
Wenger.
Exactly. So they have a lot of pressure on this team. Not even that, the fans have put so much pressure on Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's incredible how much pressure Arsenal fans give to their team.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I don't think so, man. Even the game headed to United, like there was not that much
come on.
pressure. I feel like they were just grooving, and not for anything. Like it was only 1-0, but like Arsenal, like weren't like worried. I feel like they weren't like
Yeah.
really shaking much about that fixture.
But I don't know. I think United have also been pretty timid this season. Like,
Exactly.
they're not really a team that threatens you a whole lot. And I think like when it comes down to the last match day, like that's when the pressure really comes. Like especially if City, let's say, tie tomorrow, or even if they do win tomorrow, like the pressure's then on. Like it's now or never. And they're gonna have to go out there and just try to do it right. Obviously, hopefully they learned their lessons from last season when they kind of slipped up and let it choke, because last season we all thought they had it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then City kind of came up with those. It's always with City. It's always those games in hand that always kind of play the mind games on Arsenal, because it's like when Arsenal feels they're ahead, and City just slowly start to creep in with these games in hand. And this year it's going literally right to the last week of the season with the game in hand, right? So it's like, I'm sure the pressure will definitely hit. Hopefully now the player is a little bit more experienced. And I think having a player like Kai Havertz is huge. Because for me, that's a player who's been there. He's done that. He's played in a lot of big games. Whereas last season, I don't think they had that experienced attacker, even an experienced player in the team, really.
Don't forget about Jorginho.
That have kind of been there and done that, right? Jorginho as well, right? Those are maybe some players that can kind of settle down the nerves, maybe come up with that clutch goal like we've seen Havertz do in the past, that can kind of maybe relieve some of that pressure, right?
Arsenal have not won the league since they went invincible.
That's crazy.
You know what the craziest thing is? Arsenal breaking all these records, scoring 52 goals in 2024 in the Premier League, more than any other club in the competition. Conceded 8 goals in 2024 in the Prem, fewer than any other club in the competition. Kept 11 clean sheets, more than any other club in the competition. Unbeaten against the top 6, and yet still gonna bottle against City.
That's
Crazy.
crazy to me, man. That's so crazy to think about.
I think that leads on to Dan's question he had.
Is this team better than the Invincible team?
Because after hearing that, it could get close. I know Invincibles, they went undefeated. But
my argument will always be a team can go undefeated and still get relegated.
Yeah.
You can tie every single game of the season. You can literally walk out with 32 points, 33 points, 38 points, sorry.
Yeah.
And right now, the bottom table team has 38 points. Oh, no, sorry, that's 2021 season. Right now, the last place team has 37 points.
Yeah,
No,
so
sorry. I'm freaking going off here.
16.
16. But, like, you get what I'm saying.
Really bad.
38 points you'd stay. 38 points you'd stay up.
Yeah, right
Still.
today. But, like,
Yeah.
in other
You never
seasons,
know.
you never
I
know.
know
it depends on the season.
You never
I
know.
know what you
You
mean.
never
I know
know.
what you mean. Yeah.
Like, Invincible to me, unless, like, you're... How can you really be, like... I don't know. I feel like it doesn't, like, really scare me too much, considering that, like, they weren't also, like, the favorite of, like, the ones to win that season either. Like, this season, were they favorite to win after last season?
A lot of people.
maybe a
had
little
them at
bit,
the
yeah.
beginning of
First or
the season.
second. Wait,
Yeah.
do we know how many the Invincible season had on points? Like the exact points?
90 something.
Which one?
Invincible?
Oh, they had less points.
Yeah, they had like 80, I think, right?
Well, considering that...
Or 81?
Actually, maybe...
No, I think it was low 90s.
No, they didn't have 90. It
Or
was
high.
lower than 87.
Was it?
It was like 81, I think, or 80. Either way.
Might as well-
Either way,
Matt's saying it, yeah.
I think
No, they had 26 wins and 11 draws.
Yeah, it's a lot of draws. It's like a lot of draws.
Or 12 draws, something like that.
So
So they
they
had 90 points.
told you.
oh, they did have 90. Wow.
And then second place, Chelsea had 79.
You think I don't know my Gunners, bro? You think
Yeah,
I don't
hey,
know this club?
Good gunner knowledge.
But
Yeah.
90 points,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like if Arsenal win their next two games, they're surpassing that.
One game.
They have one game left.
Oh, one game, so they're not. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
but-
90's bare points.
That is
That is
that
a lot.
is
That is a lot,
points.
bro.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
I'm going no. I'm going.
Yeah,
They're not.
I'm
I'm going. They're not a better team. Like I don't care about. You know what I mean? Like just because they scored the most goals, this, that, and the other. Like at the end of the day, like that's also because they spent a shitload of money, and they have a very, very, very good squad compared to some of the teams that are in the league. Right? Some of those lower table teams that they're slapping up 6-0, 7-0. Those results are gonna help. Right? But if just because you're beating one team 6-0, but then you're dropping points against another team, isn't going to necessarily help you when you want to win the league. It'll help with the most goals. It'll help with cool stats like that, but it's not going to help you win the league.
Yeah.
Right? So for me personally, I'm taking that Invincible team, right? At the end of the day, they went out there. They didn't lose a bloody game in a season. They got 90 points. You know, they dominated the league, and they won, right? A bunch of legends in that team. And I think, you know, for the most part, if you put those squads head-to-head, right, most people would probably choose the players from that Invincible team versus the players that are in this current team.
Yeah, but
I also think people feared that Invincible team.
Mhm.
I don't really think people fear this current Arsenal team.
But it's kind of early to say. Like this is an Arsenal team that's just becoming like Arsenal again.
Becoming
I'm sorry, dude. That team, that Invincible team, was a team full of men.
Yeah,
Like
but
that
they're
was
all
a
in their
team
prime.
that people got scared of. Yeah,
People
but
age
those are
differently
players
back
in their,
then.
I guess too. But those guys are in their like. Give me a player who's close to Henry. This in this team.
Henry, but like
Yeah, but there's also quite a bit of players that
No
wouldn't-
one.
that wouldn't really come close to some of the opposing.
I'm sorry. I'd
positions.
rather take those players than any of these players.
I would say Odegaard's the closest thing to that would make that squad,
100%. I think that's the closest thing.
and he might not even make the squad.
Saka is overrated. I'm taking Pires. 100%.
Yeah, easy.
So, give me that Invincible team. 100%. So much better than this team.
And the only thing I think about with that question is what team is better. All I think about is Arsenal versus Man City, the second game, when Arsenal just sat back for 90 minutes and was just getting pummeled. They did not do anything.
They
They
played
didn't.
for a draw.
They played for a draw. Like no top team should ever be playing for a draw against other top teams, especially in a title race with that other team. You got to go for the win.
City low-key played for a draw that game too.
So yeah,
That game was so
it was
bad.
terrible. But
That's-
Chess match, bro.
Yeah, they both went out, very tactical game, and literally they went out and they didn't want to drop points to each other.
Yeah.
So they settled for a draw.
him and
Right.
Arteta probably, Pep and Arteta probably talked before
Yeah,
the
I'm
game.
sure.
What
Right?
it was a disgusting display of Premier League soccer.
Terrible.
Dude, I
That
fell
was
asleep.
Worst game I've seen all year,
Fell asleep.
probably. And that was
Been
the
watching
two
Juve
best
games then,
teams
eh?
in the league.
That's crazy. Yeah.
No, Juve games are better than that.
No.
No chance. Easy.
No.
Easy. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Just a quick thing. The 21-22 season was the last season when it came like close. I knew it was one that was close. It came down to 1 point. Liverpool, City won obviously, and then Liverpool, City were actually losing that game against Aston Villa the last fixture. It was 2-0, and then it came back. It was 3-2,
Yes.
True.
and like that was 1 point.
But look at that. They have that clutch in them. They have that experience where even on the last game, they were down and literally losing the title in that game. They came back and they went for it. And I think the big thing with City, too, is they got knocked out of the Champions League this year, too. So for them, all their marbles are now in this competition. If this was last year and it went down to the last match day when City were still probably thinking more about the Champions League and checking that off their bucket list, I think Arsenal would have had a better chance. But I think Pep's all in for the league. And I think it's tough to beat a Pep when he's all in.
Yeah, and
especially
the hard thing is it's kind of in City's hands since they have 2 games.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not really in Arsenal's hands.
I know hands are kind of tied.
Well, it could be. It could still be in Arsenal's hands technically. Like if City lose or draw against Spurs, then that kind of really shifts things around again.
That's a big if, though.
If obviously City go out and win, then you're going out there, you're winning, you're hoping that maybe Everton can do something for you. But no, it's always tough when you have to rely on other teams to, tie or beat another team for you. Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
100%. I lost my train of thought.
Oh no.
No. I got it, brothers. Don't worry. Now we all know that invincible, amazing performance.
I actually don't.
On that City final game.
Just perform. Wait, what?
That final game, Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli,
Oh,
Aguero.
Invincible.
We all know that.
Not invincible.
Not invincible.
That's how- that's how I was
I meant
confused.
incredible. I'm sorry. We all know that incredible moment when Aguero scored that last-minute goal to win City the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now my question for you guys is,
Mm.
final game, Man City and Arsenal, either one can win the Premier League if one player steps up and does exactly what Aguero did. Who is that player for City and who is that player for Arsenal?
I think you're getting the wrong player confused. I think it's Balotelli you're trying to.
I'll tell you set that
His
up.
only assist ever
Yeah.
for that in that shirt. I think he's the guy you're trying to compare to. But no, yeah, I know what you mean.
Who's that player?
I think for me, I'll go for me first. For me, I think Arsenal's is Trossard.
Yes,
Agree,
yes,
100%. bro.
Trossard's
100%.
that clutch play that they got for City. I want to say Foden, but I don't think it's Foden. I think it's Julian Alvarez. I think he has that clutch in him, especially he's won everything. He's literally won everything.
Fair enough. For me personally, for Arsenal, I got Havertz. I already spoke about it, right? Literally won his team Champions League final with a clutch goal. Scored some big goals for the Gunners this season as well. And for City, I think there's only one guy, Rodri, right? He's done it, been there before last season, scored a bunch of clutch goals. I think the biggest thing about why it most likely would be Rodri is the way City just pin teams back.
Yeah.
So many players in the box. Your strikers, your forwards might not have as much space. And a lot of times, that ball might just fall kindly at the top of the box to Rodri where you can just step into it, lace it, and boom, it's in the back of the net. Tarp's coming off. He's getting the yellow, and they're winning the league, right?
Yeah, I agree with Rodri 100%. He's definitely a big game player, and we've seen him score goals in big games. So I say him or maybe even Philip Foden, bro.
Mm.
Been having a sick season. We've seen him pop up with goals outside the box too. If they are against a pin back defense, that's something he could do as well. And then Arsenal, Trossard, right? Like we've seen him come off the bench, score clutch goals too, and I feel like it's a possibility as well if it comes to the fact, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be Erling Braut Haaland sealing the title for Man City. It's easy, light work, tapping, written in the stars. And for Arsenal, I'm going to say Billy Saliba.
Billy?
Yeah, William.
You just got to be different. eh?
Stop, bro.
Billy.
You
I
think
said
so?
Billy, bro.
Billy
Ain't nobody
Saliba.
calling him Billy, bro.
Someone's got to.
No.
William Saliba.
Just doesn't want to say Willie.
Big header.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you need your center back to come clutch. Corner.
Yeah.
Things are getting a little difficult at the end of the game. A lot of corners are being taken. And got to clutch it up.
Center back steps up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely Trossard. The way he's been able to transform his game when joining this team and literally taking Martinelli's position, starting position away from him. Like he's been starting games now. I know they usually sub each other off halfway through the game, but I think Trossard's miles ahead of Martinelli. The way he's been able to just beat players really too. Like Martin doesn't really beat players. He just kind of like
touch
just
and then
takes
run.
touch and runs, and then Trossard just finds himself in the right space at the right time.
Yeah.
Even like the goal he scored against United, like I just knew it was Trossard when he was going to finish that. That's the Trossard finish right there. Like he just right place, right time. So I definitely think him, and then like Matt said, Foden, he's having a great season. And I think he's the guy to kind of close it off if they end up winning the title.
And then your question, answer it.
Those are all good shouts, but obviously my picks are going to be the ones to do it.
All right, bro.
I'm agreeing with James, and it has to be Havertz. I think he's in such a great form. Mentally, he's there. Mentally, he's done it against City as well in the Champions League finals, scoring that big goal to win it for them. So it has to be Havertz for me. And for City, the funny thing is you can legit say anyone, and it could be right. Like we've said Foden, we said Haaland,
Alvarez.
we said Alvarez, we said
Rodri.
Rodri, and it could clearly be any of those guys because those guys all have that it factor.
Which is crazy.
But you guys forgot about De Bruyne.
Facts.
I got De Bruyne, bro. Come on, man. He's the guy that you need when everything comes to the last minute. He's gonna find that pick, that pass, or he's gonna score that banger. So, De Bruyne for me.
I rate it.
Good, good.
A lot of talent, man.
So let's move over to some manager extravaganza
Under talks.
at Bayern Munich. Actually, I want to talk about this because apparently Tuchel might be staying, but I've been hearing Flick. I've been hearing Glasner, who Crystal Palace has put 100 million price tag on him,
That's
which is
insane, bro.
absolutely
That's so mad.
insane. Yeah, we'll get back to that. But do we think it's a better move for Bayern to keep Tuchel? Because apparently Manuel Neuer, Thomas Müller, and a couple of other Bayern players are actually backing him to stay because they really get along with they kind of understand Tuchel's tactics now that they're like actually listening to him.
My thing is, what's the reason for him to leave? Like at the end of the day, he lost, unfortunately, because of an offside that was called too early in the Champions League. He lost the season to an
Reach the agenda, bro.
Yeah.
he's lost the season to an almost undefeated team.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do with that? Like, what's he gonna? He goes to the board and is saying you're fired. What's he gonna say? What did you want me to do?
It's true.
I lost to an offside VAR, Black Magic from Madrid, and I lost to an unbeaten team.
He also lost to a Bundesliga 2 team in the cup.
That's true.
Bundesliga
I mean, I'll
3
get
team.
Bundesliga 3 ish.
I'll give that to him. But like, you know what I mean? You go in the beginning of the season, you think that Bayern Leverkusen are going to go undefeated? No. So I think for him staying is the obvious choice, and I think when he first came out saying he's going to leave, I was like, why? He's clearly fit for this team.
Because we also heard Tuchel like possibly going to United. So I don't know if
I don't mind that though.
You don't mind him
I
staying
think
at Bayern?
I think he's a good manager.
He's a
wherever
great
he is,
manager.
Wherever he is, because he overperformed last season's results. Last season they ended up 71 points. This season they ended up 72 points. End of the day, you can't really predict or depict another opposing team's season. If a team goes undefeated, bro, it's not just you who have the cards to change that. Sure, there's 2 games in the season. You lose both, whatever, tie both. But bro, there's another how many 20-something teams in the league that have to like play part. They have no decision to make with those. Like, you really can't write anything like that.
Tuchel lost to Black Magic twice in a single season. Twice. Like, what can you say to that? He's cursed.
Some bad karma,
Someone's
I guess, bro.
got a voodoo doll and God didn't want it, bro. It's unfortunate.
So
I
you
think he stays. And second of all, sorry before I sorry that I interrupted you. Sorry, brother. Sorry, brother. But what is Tuchel known for? Doing well in European football.
Yeah.
We know that Bayern are gonna have a good chance of winning the league. That's every season for Bayern. And if they don't, do well in the league, that's an issue. But they always do well. They need Champions League. And what's he do? He performs in Champions League. So what's a better fit than that?
Yeah, I don't know if they find someone better than him
Bro.
that's on the market.
The crazy thing is that a lot of these Bayern players, this is the first time in their career that they're going trophyless, going to the end of the season.
What is it's been since like 2010, right?
Right? And yet, despite this, they're still backing him. That's just showing job's not done, bro. Wait for a couple signings and it's a wrap.
I don't know. I don't know how many more signings you need to make for the guy, but
It just shows how much they believe in him and his project, right?
But they didn't believe in him like a couple months ago.
the thing is with Bayern is that they're low key. They're kind of spoiled, right? Obviously, no, I'm being serious. Like they're so used to success, right? They're the biggest team in Germany, one of the biggest teams in the world. They're used to winning trophies. They're used to winning the league. They're used to being, that top 4 team in the world every single season. And realistically, like this goes back to last season. Sacking Nagelsmann was a mistake.
Yeah.
Right. They're hopefully now they've learned from that mistake and they're maybe gonna cover up this whole Tuchel mess. But sacking Nagelsmann was mistake number one because there was no need for him to be sacked. And then they kind of went and got Tuchel. He was on the market. The only thing with Tuchel is he's a great manager, but he's tough to work with.
Yeah.
Right. Every club he's been at, there's always friction with the board. And at the end of the day, like he may be a good gaffer with tactics and maybe getting the best out of some players and European football, this, that, and the other. But if he's making everyone's life a nightmare, they're not going to work with him, right? So for me personally, I can see them bringing Flick back. They got rejected by a bunch of gaffers already towards the end of this year. I don't think Tuchel will be there next season. I think it'll be Flick. I think Flick will come back. Flick has nowhere to go. I think he'll come back, familiar with the club, easy to work with. And I think Tuchel will probably end up at United.
Do you think it's right, considering the last couple seasons now, we've been seeing so much movement from gaffers? A lot. Like you barely see gaffers now stay longer than 3 seasons. Yeah. Unless you've been there from a while back now, like Klopp.
No, but those are goats though. Those are
Pep. But you barely see gaffers now stay for more than 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like every team now is a get rich quick scheme. We need results now, which for the most part, sure, Bayern has been like that because they've been winning every single season. But there has to come a time where you can't be winning. There's going to be a little bit of reset. Mm-hmm. For the past how many years now? They've been winning 10, 11 years.
They got to realize
their team needs to change. Your Mueller's old. Neuer's done. I feel like he's going to kind of come into the end of his career. They need to find replacements. They made some poor signings as well. And I feel like that team needs to be a little bit of a rebuild to it. Sana has come into that squad really strong. He's a strong player for sure. Gnabry has been there for a while, but is he consistent? He's also having a lot of injury issues. And then we have Kane. It's probably one of the biggest mistakes they've probably made. That James always says too, right? Was he the right transfer to make for that club? Was it a well investment? Considering that he brought us huge signing, he got you the goals, but you didn't get the results. You didn't get the trophies.
It's not his fault, man. What else do you want him to do? He gets subbed off. It's not his fault.
Yeah, he had a great game.
Come on.
But let's go back. So yeah, Bayern Munich. I think unless Jay had something to say about Tuchel.
No, I agree with the recent surge in manager sackings. It's too much. These clubs don't value any stability anymore. Like Dan said, get rich quick kinda. Mm-hmm. They want the results to happen so fast. There's a little bit of struggle, and there's turnover right away. Mm-hmm. It's how are you gonna grow like that? Obviously, you can't predict a Bayer Leverkusen going undefeated, and then Bayern don't know how to act after that because they haven't won, right? So no, I think they should stick with Tuchel. Give him time. I always believe in giving managers time because it's hard to just win in your first season. It's hard to make immediate impact, especially when the competition gets better around you.
Yeah.
I think it's better for the Bundesliga that the league is getting better. Do I think they stick with Tuchel? I don't think so because halfway through the season, they were already saying they didn't want him. Kane and Dyer were the only ones that liked him at one point. I'm pretty sure.
That dude, even for Dyer to come into that squad and perform that well, dude, that guy was a bench warmer.
Yeah.
It's because
one of the poorest teams in England.
He's a teacher's pet.
The thing about Tuchel is he's a floor raiser. He'll make a Duke player look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He makes someone like Dyer look nice.
But what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
I feel like that's good
shows
for
that, it shows that
brings that he's able to bring something out of these players that people can find as rejects. At the end of the day, not for anything, but look at Xavi. His team isn't really the greatest on paper, but look what at the end of the season, the price probably skyrocketed for half those players now. A lot of transfer rumors coming in for those players. But if you have a manager like Tuchel, can get you results, can probably also bring you some good transfers. Sign low, sell high. Not that Bayern needs that, but it's good to kind of bring some of these, lower quality footballers, but then bring something out of them.
Yeah, especially when you're throwing a bag at Kane to get someone else on the cheap that's going to be a starter. Mm-hmm. It's pretty nice.
And that invites competition too.
Yeah.
I mean, some players haven't flourished with that competition like Kingman Jay, but it's good. Competition is good.
I feel like they need to make a couple of different signings. They need some deep signings. If Davies leaves, you need another fullback. Choupo-Moting is not the ideal replacement when Kane comes off.
I think he's gone already. I think Choupo, they're not renewing his contract, and I think Sar, I think the French lad.
Oh, yeah,
still
he's
there?
been on loan though.
Yeah, I think those two lads I think are gone. Then I think I definitely think there's going to be some turnover in the Bayern squad.
If anything, like Kimmich too, like he's fallen off a lot. I feel like not for anything than just that Champions League run, but like I feel like he hasn't really been consistent. Goretzka hasn't really been seeing consistent minutes either, even though he has his good games and his poor games.
Yeah.
You have the young bloke,
Pavlovic.
is good,
like
yeah.
he's
good.
decent. That's the next player you need to start having consistent minutes now. They need to rebuild a little bit.
See, Gretzka was someone that wasn't getting along with Tuchel, and he
And not for
showed.
anything. Okay, send them out.
Kimmich
Yeah.
too. Kimmich wasn't really getting along.
Send them
with him.
out. They
Maybe
don't
they
have to
might.
be in that team. I
What
don't think
changed
they,
though?
Sorry.
What changed though?
I don't
Maybe-
know if they were the guys that are agreeing with them now though, because it just showed Mueller, Neuer. It looked like the old heads kind of.
Neuer wasn't there at the beginning of the season. He was coming off the broken leg, obviously. But no, I think at the end of the day, they know Tuchel's a good gaffer, but he's not someone who's easy to get along with. He has his favorites, and if you're not one of them, it's tough to get back in his good books. Dude, at the beginning of the season, he came in the summer and said, we don't have any player in our team that can play the number 6 position. So think about that. Your gaffer's coming in, you're saying that. You're the captain of the team. Your position is number 6. You're supposed to be the best player and the leader of the team, and your gaffer's coming in and saying, we don't have a player that can play the number 6. Obviously, you're going to butt heads with the gaffer, right? So why do you think he's playing right back now?
Or keep your head down and work hard.
Well, the thing is, he wasn't really given the chance. Kimmich would play, and then if he had like a mid-performance, out. You know what I mean? Like, and then he moved to right back, and that's when the only way he kind of worked his way back into the squad was from right back. Which, in my opinion, he's a great right back. Like he can really do numbers there. But no, I definitely think whether it's Tuchel, whether it's Flick, whether it's who else, there's definitely going to be some turnover in the squad this summer. I think there's a lot of players that I think they'll try to move on from if they can, and they'll try to bring in some fresh faces for sure, because there's a lot of mid in that squad still.
Yeah, so the transfer season's coming up. I want to ask you guys, what's the most baffling transfer / mismanagement of a transfer you've witnessed
This season,
in general?
in general,
We could go this season, or we could go in general. Up to you guys.
I don't
I got
know-
one.
Yeah, I got a quick fire one.
I got a quick fire one. It's already done.
Could go.
Right in my head.
Here you go.
Antoine Griezmann to Barcelona.
Okay.
That's the biggest
Oh, okay.
joke.
Why?
Before he even came, I knew right away there is no position for this man. And this comes from a man that I love, Antoine Griezmann.
He loves him.
One of my favorite players. I used to play like him. That was the guy
Posters on the wall.
I looked up to
Yeah, she looked.
as a lefty myself.
Lefty. What?
What are you talking about?
But no, Antoine Griezmann to Barcelona right away when the rumors came out, everything came out. He signed. I already knew this was not going to be a fit for him. He plays like the Messi role that would be for Barcelona, and what happened?
You still loved it though. You loved that signing.
Of course, I loved it, but it didn't work out for him, and I wanted it to work out for him. So for me, Griezmann to Barcelona was probably the worst signing ever, and that comes as a Barca fan.
That's a good shout. It didn't really make sense. I agree with that one.
Zero
Yeah.
sense.
My quick fire one was David De Gea to Madrid, the one that got lost in the fax
that's-
machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
fax machine.
That's just mismanagement.
That's facts. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
No
my
pun
quick fire
intended.
one, David De Gea, because that's just ridiculous. When do you hear something like that ever happening? Never.
Never. Yeah. When's the last time that's
That
ever
was probably
happened?
the first time, and I've ever heard it, and the last time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any quick fire ones? Because
yeah,
I-
I got one.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, the most recent one for me and like with my squad is Anthony. The guy has only 1 G, I think, this season.
Still?
What a
I think
player.
so. Like, dude, Vardio has more goals.
How
than
much
that
did
guy.
they pay for him? How much did they pay for him? Again?
90 mil?
100 mil?
90?
It was 90.
90, dude.
Like
A lot.
Almost
Yeah,
100.
almost
bro.
That's a
100,
lot.
bro.
That guy's left back now.
That's crazy.
Dude, did you guys see the
That
picture
man,
this
dude.
weekend with the eyebrow?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This guy was
yeah.
coming on demon time, and then he goes, "Oh no, you're left back. You're going
Track back,
over,
buddy.
You're going over there."
But did you see what he did when they told him to go left back? He looked at 10 and he's like, okay. Imagine your player doing that.
That's crazy, bro.
I'm sorry.
He thinks he's him. That's why.
Like, I understand you don't want to play left back, but if your gaffer tells you, you don't go to your gaffer, are you okay? Like, what? So disrespectful.
Okay, but
I don't know. I hope, and I'm talking to you, Ten Hag, watching this.
Mm.
I hope you better do something about that, because you did something about when Sancho said something, when Ronaldo said something, but this guy legit looked at him right in the head. He says, "Are you okay?"
He won't, dude.
What's wrong with this
Anthony's
guy?
his little teacher's pet, man.
Yeah, I could talk to Ten Hag too. Ten Hag, you're shit. Why don't you just leave Man United? You're pretty bad.
Nah, he's not a bad guy.
No, he's bad.
Goddamn off.
Nah. I low key think, bro, Anthony in a different environment, he might cook.
Nah.
No, he's not
Yeah.
talented at all.
Bro, the thing is, like in Brazil, he was lauded as like a very high prospect. Like in Sao Paulo, this guy was like next level.
So was
How
Victor
many-
Roque.
how many years
even
ago?
even coaches from other clubs, his club, saying like, "Oh, this player has the talent to be a superior player."
How many years ago?
Still,
But
Okay.
that's it. No,
he's not being utilized
not-
in the right position, the right kind of play style. He's not a touchline winger.
Not for anything. I feel like you guys always talk about this dude PR. Like I feel like the Brazilian PR in Brazil is crazy.
It is
You
crazy.
guys, you guys call the next Messinho whatever coming out. Not for anything. I hope Endrick does well. Victor Roque guy, he's getting loaned out. He's getting get sent out.
I'll talk about that.
Martinelli, sure, he's been there, but he's not like what you guys assumed.
No one-
Anthony,
no one bigged
Martinelli
up-
wasn't a big
Martinelli
prospect.
came from a third division club.
Who was that?
okay, Gabriel Jesus,
Gabi
like
Gol.
Gabigol, like dude, the
Mismanaged.
PR in Brazil is crazy. You guys make
A
sure
lot of
every
these players are mismanaged, bro.
no, you guys make sure that every winger that comes up has to come up with against
Every
some
player can't be
retired fullback.
mismanaged.
Yeah, I swear every fullback that plays in Brazil is either retired or playing their end of the season.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
That's why That's why these young guys are cooking and making them look they're so good and they're playing in the wing.
Nah.
Like
Dude,
a
imagine coming up against
40-year-old,
Marcelo and like Felipe Luis back
Or
there.
40-year-old
Come on,
Cáceres
bro.
playing right back. He's sagging shorts.
Of course, man. Yeah,
over
Victor Roque is
shorts.
gonna look crazy down the way.
I'm sorry, bro. When I saw the video of bro Anthony, all he does is the ball. Is he beats the player,
barely. That's not that fast.
or
though.
or the ball gets to him and he's gone. He waits for the
He
defender
waits.
to come back to him. What are you doing? I'm
That's
sorry.
you.
looks
You
like
do
you.
that.
No, that's on you to play, dude.
Nah, I'm not like that. That's I don't
Yeah,
understand.
the Brazil PR for the wingers is crazy. Though.
That's kind of crazy. But you can't say that every single one's mismanaged.
Yeah, you can't say
A
that.
lot of them are.
No, but
Yeah.
what's
Like
mismanaged
who?
about them?
Okay, one, Anthony, he's not a touchline winger. He's being played on the touchline.
But
he's an inside forward.
But hold on,
He's
he
a
played
right
with him
winger. He's
at
playing.
Ajax.
Huh?
He played with him at Ajax.
What's your point?
So you don't think that he knows how he plays?
No. Was
Ten
he
Hag?
playing as a touchline winger at Ajax?
Yeah.
His
Yeah, he
best
was.
years were at Ajax. So how's he get mismanaged at United with the same manager
It's United, bro.
Playing the same formation.
and the same formation?
Even then, obviously, it's gonna take time to adjust to the Prem. You're coming from Ajax to the Prem, like come on.
Then that's the issue. Don't say it because the best
But
play.
that
no.
that as well too. He's not a touchline winger.
no,
He's
man.
being played out of position.
So
I-
what
if-
is he then?
From coming
He's
from
an inside
Brazil,
forward.
coming from Brazil to where he's been playing now in Europe, he's been
Yeah.
playing as an outside winger. If anything, adapt. You've been playing with the same gaffer for how many years now?
Yeah.
And for some reason now he doesn't know
Yeah,
he's
why-
not. He's
It
playing the
takes
wrong
time to
position.
adapt.
Why can't
No,
he adapt?
Takes
It's
time.
it's the pressure. It's the pressure. It's the
Who else
pressure.
was mismanaged?
Gabriel Jesus
Why?
was played in the wrong position at City. You've
But
seen
now
how,
he's playing the right position at Arsenal.
which is
Isn't it straight? What's
right wing.
He's the right winger.
Okay, he plays there sometimes. Not really.
Yeah, sometimes, if you're a right winger, you want to play there all the time.
If he was a right winger at Arsenal, would he be the best right winger?
That's tough to say.
He's also not a true winger either.
No, he's
He's an
also more
inside
of like an
forward.
inside forward. He's not a
Yeah.
touchline winger.
Yeah,
Inside
that's-
forward.
And who else got mismanaged, or was it just those two?
Well, the player that I have as my shout for worst mismanagement, especially this season,
Or transfer scene.
Yeah,
Vitor Roque, bro. Like,
Yeah,
bro, you're telling me Barca spent 40 mil plus variables on a player mid-season, so to come in January, yet they only give him 300 minutes of playing time throughout the season.
That's on Xavi.
And
That's
this is
that
him competing with what, a 36, 37-year-old Lewandowski?
Oh, he's been class though. In
For
the
what?
Second half.
This guy was firing in Brazil, was one of the top scorers until he got injured, pretty much carrying that Atlético Paranaense side, especially in the Libertadores. And then he comes to Barca and doesn't play at all. Doesn't make sense.
But
And
when
now
he-
they want to send him on loan or sell him.
When he played, did he perform?
He barely got minutes. He would get here damn minutes.
I think he still got 2 goals too. No?
Yeah, he
No.
got like 2 or 3 goals.
One thing you can say from watching the Barca games is when he came on, he put like 110% effort. Like he was in it. Like he was tracking back. He wanted it. He
And the
wanted
thing
to.
is too,
If you're gonna be played for
No,
5 minutes,
no.
you better be running every single minute of the game.
the thing is too, Xavi would play him on the left wing. He's a striker.
yeah, and that too. He was playing on the left wing a lot.
Like it makes no sense.
It's just
So this sounds like to me they brought in a player that they didn't need.
yeah, I guess
it was
so.
just like a transfer that has like, okay, next big player coming out of
No,
Brazil.
I don't think that.
sign him.
No, it's
No.
because Real Madrid wanted to get Endrick, so Barca
No.
had to go. Yeah, Barca had to go match him with Roque.
Maybe.
It is.
I do not think that's the reason.
100%.
I think unfortunately, Lewandowski pulled up his pants and started playing to his level.
I'm sorry. If it takes a freaking 19 or whatever how old this guy is
Yeah,
for
19.
Lewandowski to be like, oh shit, I better start performing, then that's ridiculous of a top
Competition.
striker. Competition.
But even then,
And also looking for the future. We know Lewandowski after the next season, because he's probably going to stay, he's going to be gone. So think about the future.
He might
Bring him in now if Lewandowski's not playing at his level that he wasn't when we were linked with Victor Roque, to me, that was the perfect time to sign him. It's just unfortunately, Lewandowski pulled up his pants.
And the craziest thing is Barca's in a financial situation, a very poor one. They spent over 40 mil in January
Well, so now
to
you
bring
know
in
how
a
they
young
got him.
Brazilian striker, and yet they don't play him.
Were there other teams?
And they want to sell him now.
Were there other teams considering?
Yeah, Chelsea was interested. Apparently, Bayern. A lot of the big clubs were
Chelsea
interested.
just bought some other guy.
It's not confirmed yet.
Wasn't that another Brazilian?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's
Yeah,
not confirmed yet.
yet.
Yeah, Chelsea have been signing a lot of Brazilians, but I just took a look. So Roque had made 11 appearances, 2 goals, 1 yellow card, 1 red card.
That's
That's probably why, dude. If you're coming in,
He's bad because he's not
No,
playing,
but
bro.
I remember
dude.
that red card though.
but
Yeah.
if you're coming in and you're getting a red card,
Context?
game,
Context?
The red card wasn't a red card.
then what was it?
No, I remember we talked about it on
We
that
talked
pod
about it.
too.
It was an orange card.
That
was
red
an
card was
orange
garbage.
But
That was a
the
horrible
thing
card.
is, if he's putting his team in a situation where he might get sent off, that's gonna lose your trust of your
Relax.
gaffer.
Like it's not like we haven't seen a young player at Barca get red cards before. Look at Gavi. he gets red cards
Didn't
every time.
Messi
He's
like on
hired.
his debut get a red card? I think
Yeah.
for Argentina.
Yeah.
It's different. You're comparing Messi
Oh,
to
you're
Vitor
comparing a young player starting for their team, young and getting a red card versus another player doing the same thing.
Messi, Vitor Roque.
Okay,
Same
then
kind of
Gavi,
situation.
Gavi
Yeah,
got
that's
red
hindsight,
cards.
though.
Yeah, but Gavi is a position that was needed at the time. Like there was no midfielder.
Striker's not needed. An aging striker, who
Bro,
else?
but
They have backup.
is Lewandowski not performing in the last couple games of the season?
But that's
what
what I'm
backup is
saying.
there though?
You need backup if your striker's performing,
Yeah, but you got to buy for the future, which they did.
which they have. But there's no reason why you need to give a player minutes.
So you're
just
gonna play a
because.
36, 37-year-old 90 minutes every game for the season.
Why not?
You should.
playing
Come on,
well.
bro.
Why not? Or aren't you guys like just scraping wins?
Does that
and
make
stuff?
sense?
Are you
Like
guys scraping
as
wins?
a gaffer?
He's playing well. He also,
What about when he doesn't play well?
He's been there for half a season. He was injured, got a suspension, and then he played here damn minutes, right? So at the end of the day, like he played his minutes, but if you're not coming on and making an impact, a positive one, you don't really give the gaffer a reason to play you in the next game.
From what I've been seeing, I think I would rather have him come on than Fernando Torres sometimes. Truly, and Joao
Different players,
and
though.
Felix as well. Knowing that Felix, like realistically, he's not gonna be here next season. Give minutes to players that are gonna be here. If you're thinking that they're gonna be here for a long time, that we all think Tigrinho is gonna be here for, give him minutes. Let him get that experience.
Yeah, so maybe next season will be a season. He's just gotta wait it
Next
out.
season is probably
Well-
going on loan or being sold.
Exactly. Who knows if he's gonna be here next season?
Maybe a loan's best. You know what? At the end of the day, you go out. At least he's gonna get minutes. He needs to get those minutes under his belt. He scores the goals, and by then Lewandowski's gone, and it's good timing, right?
Well, his agent said he came out and saying that the only way he's going out if he's going out on a permanent deal. So I don't think he's gonna go on alone.
So maybe that's the issue with the agent. Maybe the agent needs to realize that a loan is the best move, right? Dude, look at Vinny. When Vinny first came to Madrid, he wasn't starting games, right? He was playing for Castilla. Right? And look how that turned out, right? Sometimes you just need to have the patience with the player, and sometimes the agent needs to realize, okay, maybe I need to have some patience with my player. I know he was doing well in Brazil, but this is a totally different ball game we're talking about. Maybe I need to have a little bit more patience. Maybe he goes on a loan for a season. You need to realize that, you're not going to maybe get as many minutes as you'd hoped, right?
Well,
Nothing's guaranteed.
Vini was still getting minutes, and this is Barca spending over 40 mil in this kind of financial situation they're in,
Yeah,
and yet
but
they don't
The
play.
amount of money that you spend on a player doesn't equate to how many minutes they should play.
But wouldn't that make sense?
Not necessarily.
Not
Let
necessarily.
me just bring this point so we can just kind of end off in the discussion here because we talk about Barca too much sometimes. I'm kidding, but honestly, looking at their fixtures, their most recent fixtures, last couple months, I don't even see a moment where there can be like, you know what, let's put Vitor Roque and just close off the game. You guys beat Sociedad 2-0. I think you guys started scoring goals late in the game. You guys lost to Girona. The game was back and forth. There's no reason you're going to play Vitor Roque in those moments. You guys beat Valencia 4-2, but you guys just came down to the very end of the game to win those draws. You guys were losing 2 times that game. There's no reason to play
Lewandowski
Vitor
shouldn't
Roque.
be starting every game.
No, but
at his
Victor
age.
Lewandowski scored a hat-trick that game. Not going to sub him off.
I'm saying every game he shouldn't be starting. And
Before
playing 90
that,
minutes
before
every game.
but again, before that, you guys faced Madrid. You're not playing Vitor Roque there because you guys ended up losing that game. You guys also lost against PSG. Those Champions League games, you're gonna play Vitor Roque on
But
the
that's
Champions League
hindsight.
games.
You're saying this after the results already done.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you also are paying Lewandowski probably one of the highest wages on your team.
Yeah.
You're going to play him. You brought him in to score goals. You brought him in to lead the line. At the end of the day, you need that experience up top. What are you going to do? You're going to have Yamal, Roque, and Rafinha as your front three? It's not going to
He
work.
doesn't have to start every game, but at least some more minutes.
Yeah.
Like he's barely playing anything.
No, man.
But look, like Dan's saying, in these situations, he's not going to play. If you need to come back and win the game, Lewandowski scoring a hat-trick in that game, you're not going to sub him out.
Yeah, but in these situations when the result is already the full-time scorer, how are you gonna make that assessment?
Well, dude, like Dan's saying, you're losing the game. You're not going to take out
That's
your,
1 or 2
you're-
games here and there.
That's
No,
like
dude.
literally
The
how
last
many games
game,
Dan
the
was
last
talking
game, the last game was March 17th. You guys won Atletico Madrid 3-2. You guys beat them 3-0. Sorry. Okay, tossing Vitor Roque to close the game off. Besides that, you guys beat La Palmas 1-0. You guys beat PSG 3-2. You're not gonna toss them in the Champions League game. You guys beat then Cadiz 1-0. Lose against PSG the away game, and you guys face Madrid. And then you guys are back and forth with those other fixtures. Like there was not really moments to kind of fill them in.
But
These
it's not
last
always
2
about
months.
closing out the game. It's maybe you need a goal. You bring a different kind of.
No, if you're
Different
finished,
kind of
you
player
need a
in
goal.
there.
You're keeping Lewandowski on.
Yeah.
It's
I
the same.
disagree.
Wait, you're not gonna sub out a Harry Kane to put in a Choupo-Moting.
Well, we have seen that.
But
No, but
look
that
what
was a
happens.
that was a
It's
close
legit
game.
what happened.
But
Though.
look what happens.
But Choupo-Moting is also proven.
None in those stages.
Roque is not at all.
Yeah, for a young player, you got to give them chances. They have to play.
Yeah, that's why you should go out on loan. They loan him out.
Which is why I'm saying this is the worst mismanagement of a transfer I've seen this season.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
That-
Matthew was
that's
just
where we're
answering the
supposed to go.
question at the
Yeah.
end of the
I
day.
don't know how we get into that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But for me, I have one. So Dinamo Bucharesti signed a player that used to play for Barca named Edgar Yeah.
Yep.
And in a crazy turn of events, the club are investigating that it might have been his twin brother playing the whole time.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
heard
I
about
saw
that.
that most recent one. Yes.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Not
that's
Edgar,
absolutely
yeah,
insane.
bro.
What happens if they like figure it
That
out?
that is what you call a mishap.
That reminds me of like Fabio Rafael days.
You don't think Sir Alex Ferguson ever did that?
He did 100%.
Swapped one of them?
Yeah, yeah.
He definitely did. 100%,
At halftime, yeah,
100%, bro.
fresh legs.
Fresh legs.
Yeah, bro.
Just for fun.
But they look the exact same.
I mean, you can't get more mismanaged than that.
Yeah, that's
You
insane.
don't know if the player you bought is actually playing for you because it might be his twin.
But the thing is, apparently he had good performances. If it was his twin,
Okay,
Sign
bro,
the
we're gonna terminate your contract and get your brother instead.
yeah, but why not sign the brother and like have both of them play on each wing?
Center back. There you go.
Or,
Supposedly that
center
brother
back.
hasn't played a game for like months since he got
Which one?
kicked out from Poland or something like that, Polish league or something like that.
What, the Barca
The-
player?
No, the one that
Oh, the
his
other
twin
player.
that was playing for
Okay.
him.
Oh,
Supposedly he hasn't played in months because he got kicked out of his other team.
he has been playing clearly.
But now
He's
he's
been playing,
He's
man.
been staying fit.
staying fit.
He's gonna
playing
get
for his
called up
brother.
for Portugal for the Euros.
That's crazy.
That'd be crazy.
I don't think it gets more bizarre than
Yeah,
that.
That is
no,
bizarre.
That's bizarre, man.
Don't you realize, like in my head, don't you realize, like unless they play exactly the same, which is crazy.
They might.
No, there's no way they play exactly the same. Like, come on.
Why is he using his left foot now?
Yeah, what if what's left?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, aren't you already? Oh, yeah, I know. My right hurts. a bit.
Practicing.
Yeah.
There's also like, I guess they are identical. They have to be, but there's got to be some way to tell.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Did the other one not talk? Did they talk the exact same as well?
Probably.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
is,
they're
they're
definitely
They're
talking
identical
exact
twins. They're
he
gonna be the
probably
exact
doesn't
same.
talk a lot because if he's playing in Romania, he's not going to be speaking Romanian. He speaks Portuguese. He's probably not speaking much.
I
They probably just say his name. That's it. The only thing he has to remember is my name's Edgar now. Not
I mean,
whatever his actual name
Is it
is.
low key racist? They can't tell the difference.
twins, man.
That's identical twins.
Yeah, if they're identical twins, like
Yeah, I can tell the difference between Zach and Cody.
No, those
They're not
guys
identical.
are
Yeah, they are.
No,
No,
They're identical
no, they're
twins.
no, they're
not.
fraternal.
But
No,
at
they're
the, at
not.
the end of the day, I'm sure if you look into it, you can tell the difference. But you never
that's what you
expect
know.
something like this to happen.
Yeah.
So because you don't expect something like this to happen because it's so far fetched, you're not really paying attention to maybe those little differences because
Yeah.
you don't think it's gonna happen. Because like, who in their right mind would swap themselves for their twin brother in a situation like that?
They-
I wonder what their mindset is
Yeah.
though. What's the purpose?
Maybe he
Bro,
got,
if I need some
maybe
game
felt,
time.
Maybe it felt like a pull, and his brother was out of a contract, so he's like, just fill in for me, so like
Yeah.
we can keep the run going, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Or this. I got this bird with me.
Yeah.
You love saying that. You love saying bird. Eh?
Yeah.
I got this bird with me. I gotta go out for a little date with the bird.
Yeah.
with the
You know?
misses in it.
Misses in
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Why are you saying a British accent?
He's
Yeah.
Portuguese.
I don't know.
Portuguese, dude. Who knows, man?
Who knows? It's just a funny story though.
What do you got there,
Yeah,
Spot?
I got something else with regarding a brat. Troy Deeney. He was on the Rising Ballers podcast, and he was saying he was talking about the reality of being a professional footballer. So he said the problem is a lot of aspiring footballers don't have heart. They don't really. You saw it. They don't really want it. The idea of being a footballer is nicer than in reality. What's the reality of a footballer? It's quite boring. Eat, work, sleep, do it again. That's it. You can't do this. You can't do that. You have to watch what you eat, say, and do. The upside is what you get, and that's a nice house, nice car, loads of money, and you can retire early. So he's pretty much saying the life of a footballer isn't like good at all.
Dude, you know what, dude? I can definitely vouch for that. Obviously not. I was never in that situation before, but from the guests that we've had in the podcast with Nanko, Val, Solanovic, a bunch of other guys, like, dude, it sounds like a stress. Like leaving your family at a young age, not knowing what your life might look like the following year, in and out of contracts. Obviously, there's definitely those positives, you know, getting the results, getting the wages, getting the money. The experiences is huge too. That's for the most part. I think the experience are what kind of makes the moment out of it, the best out of those experiences. But it just seems like it's a stress. It's very tough. Obviously, very demanding. Injuries comes and go, right? Like I feel like growing up at a young age, you're like, hey, make money, get everything I want, get the hottest girls out there. You know, a lot of free time, do whatever I want kind of thing. But, dude, you're grinding day in, day out, training day in, day out, eating well. And then it's like, bro, you just don't know, like, how your career is going to look like. There's different paths, different routes. It's just tough.
Well, that comes with what you're doing, right? At the end of the day, a football career is how long, right? That's like
15 years.
Yeah, that's a short amount of your whole life. If you're going to be at that level, like, and there's a reason why only a little amount of people do it. Can make it. Mentality, it's a huge struggle on anyone, right? I'm sure Troy Deeney's seen a lot of stuff, been through a lot of stuff, and yeah, it's a life not for everyone, but that's the life of a footballer. You gotta eat, you gotta train, you gotta play. And why do they do it? Because they love the sport.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of us, if we had a chance, would do it. Not all of us probably would make it because we don't have maybe all that mentality. That mentality, I'm saying, not the skills.
But not only that, because even Nanko mentioned before, and I agree with him, like, dude, you kind of have to be at the right place at the right time and know the right people. Because
luck too.
Like, you can have some of these guys who've probably been ballers and just never had that opportunity. And then there's guys who, you know, parents had a deep pocket, get those opportunities for them. They take advantage of them, sure. Maybe, you know what, take positions out of those who deserve it more. And, yeah, like, end of the day, I feel like those who really work harder are kind of the ones that are less fortunate growing up and kind of see the result out of that than those who kind of maybe are kind of bought into it or, like, you know, get those fortunate opportunities.
Yeah.
Because those guys who really need it and really want it, you know, will fight and do whatever it takes to get those opportunities.
And that's the thing. I think luck comes to those who work hard. Luck just doesn't come to anyone.
Depends, man.
I don't think so. I think more than any, luck comes to those that work hard.
Not always.
You'll find your own luck. I know, but I think if you keep on working, at one day you're gonna be lucky. Yes, of course, there'll be those situations where I don't do anything, but I get lucky. But if I keep working on it, man, there's only one day that I'm going to get this one opportunity. You take it. Troy Deeney, bro.
I mean, Troy was kind of spitting, right? Like, the life of a footballer does sound like a little boring, like eat, train, sleep, repeat. But so is a 9 to 5, bro. It's pretty much the same thing, but different kind of scenarios that you're doing throughout your everyday life, right?
Yeah. I'd rather eat, train in the morning, 10 a.m., whatever it is, go eat, go recover. And then after that, you have the rest of the day.
Probably training again, dude.
Right? You could train again, of course, but you have the rest of the day. A lot of them do a lot of, you know, play video games. They do go out with their friends, stuff like that.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's still a good life. It's a stressful life, but you still have a lot of advantages.
That's when you make it.
That's true. That's when you make it.
When you're trying to get there, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're doing that, there's someone else out there that during that time that you're playing video games, you're going out with your mates, you're doing this, that, or the other. Someone else is working and they're trying to get better on their left foot. They're trying to, get better endurance. They're working hard. And at the end of the day, like, that's the biggest thing is you can work hard, you can grind, you can work every day to get better and be better. But if you don't have that right opportunity, that right person watching you at the right time for that right position, that could all be for nothing. Yeah. I think that's what Dan was saying. There's a large element of luck in there as well, that you need to have the right people watching you, right? And I think it's one of those careers where, unfortunately, a lot of times it can be in the hands of another person, right? Whether that's your agent, whether that's a scout, whether that's a team, right? Like, sometimes you can work as hard as you want, but if that team doesn't need a winger and you're a winger, sorry, it's not going to happen. Then you're going to have to go play, three leagues lower than you want to just to make sure you're still playing and you're getting there, right? I think that we heard that with a lot of the guests that came in. Maxim was saying, he had to go play in, 4 leagues lower just to have a team to play on and then try to work your way back up.
Yeah.
Think about how tough that is to do, right?
And you're not getting necessarily paid the wages you expect to be paid, dude. Like you said, you sometimes just get paid enough to just eat the next day.
Yeah.
And then you're waking up some strangers' homes and you have to go to training. Yeah. Like, necessarily, you don't really want to be home sometimes. You kind of just want to be out there and kind of just spending your day out and about. And sometimes it might come down to like, what if you eat something late at night, and the next day you have your opportunity and you can't play?
Yeah.
Well, we can
It can be things like that, right? You just never know.
I don't think it's all for nothing though. Like you said, I think those guys going through all those trials and tribulations, they're better off because of it. Even if they didn't make it to where they envisioned,
Yeah.
I think they're still gonna do it 10 out of 10 times. It made them stronger. It gave them life experience. It gave them
100%.
values. And if because Troy, obviously the journey is tough, but if he's talking about top level, like you Premier League footballer, like boring, hard, like I think he should really trade that for like you said, like the guys that are maybe in the mines, like in the mud,
Yeah.
in construction, and like really like hard, strenuous jobs, and then see if he actually has that opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
because the thing is, like footballers have what, like 20 years max maybe to make as much money as they can, and then they retire. And after that, what do? They got to figure out, am I gonna be a pundit? Am I gonna be a coach? Am I gonna do this? Am I gonna do that?
Business, this,
right?
that, yeah.
But then they're also blessed if they are in that Premier League position. They're blessed with an
opportunities.
incredible network,
Yeah.
where that if they are not able to get a top position after football, then that's a problem. You didn't put in the work to network, to build yourself, to continue after the game, to maybe be a pundit, a coach, a sporting director, media. Because if you're in that Premier League position, your opportunities are endless even after you retire.
Yeah, and the thing
Just
is,
the connections you've made.
the thing is too, like if you ask like someone like Deeney's level, like if they would trade their footballing life for that of like a regular civilian, I
Oh,
guarantee
yeah, no
you they'd
shot.
say no,
Yeah.
100%.
No shot.
And let's be fair.
Like KDB's not swapping his job for a clerk in Brussels.
No shot, bro.
What did that one hilarious meme? I think it's like Crouch was in an interview. He's like, "What would you do if you weren't playing football?" He's like, "I'd be a virgin."
Yeah.
Yeah, he just.
Like it's pretty jokes.
But then you ask Henri, and he said, "I would still be playing football in a lower league."
There's
I love,
different-
I love football, and that's the mentality, man. That's the mentality. And let's be fair, like Deeney's had a good career. It's not like he's been suffering. The man has one of the most iconic moments in football history,
Yeah, bro.
Championship, yeah.
right? So like, let's not be real. Let's be real. Like after that moment, he's probably had the night of his life after that. So like he's enjoying it.
Yeah, like sure it's tough. There's a lot of stresses. It definitely doesn't help now in like the social media area with all the hate that you get and stuff like that. But these guys aren't trading their lives, bro. No chance.
Yeah, I want to say, Troy, I don't rate that at all. That opinion, I don't rate it.
Yeah, bro.
For you to come out and say this life is boring, a life that millions of people want to, that life, like for you to say, just come out and say, yeah, it's boring. All you do is eat, sleep, train. Like, yeah, that's the life I wanted. Like I'm sure that's the life all of us wanted.
Yeah, man.
The thing is, could a lot of people handle that kind of life?
You handle it.
Handle that kind of spotlight?
If this is what you want, you got to handle it. You go, you work, and you get what you want. You have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you're saying it's boring, you didn't deserve to have that. You didn't deserve to have that position that you had. He shouldn't have been a professional
And
footballer.
also, if you say it's boring, start a podcast on the side.
Yeah, start a podcast on the side.
Start a hobby. Maybe go play golf on your off
Not
days.
for anything. I feel like he's had a lot of opportunities outside of football. He's been on several podcasts.
He did,
Yeah,
because of his
always
bad
on like
takes.
filthy fellas and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Because
bro.
of his bad takes. But yeah, for you to say that and like have a voice for footballers, that's not a voice that I want to hear personally. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's boring. I feel like training, you're learning new things in training, eating, learning how to eat properly, and then recovery, learning how to do all that stuff. I'm sure that's a life that millions of people want. I wanted that personally.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm here. This is just as good. But
How you getting on away day trips, bro?
hey, I would have went through it. I would have done it, man.
Call this guy the flying Italian, bro.
I would have done it.
Crazy, bro.
But yeah, I don't rate that opinion at all.
No, I agree
That's
with you.
fair.
Like, unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I got injured, knees and everything and whatnot. But, I'm still successful, man. You got this podcast here with the boys. What more can I ask for?
Hey, man, that's love.
Even for mans like Nanko, Maxim, the lovely gentlemen that have obviously come on the pod here. A man like Nanko, U17 World Cup, what an experience. A man like Maxim, one of the biggest derbies in Poland, like being in the midst of like that danger within all those fans. A man like Dennis playing against Kri. Like, life is all about these experiences. And even though maybe they haven't reached the absolute heights that they dreamed of, these mini moments in between are they're once in a lifetime.
That's the
Yeah,
fact.
for sure.
All it takes is that one moment where everything you worked for matters, like
Yeah.
you said.
And
That's
it
it.
makes it all worth it.
Yep.
And I think every professional footballer, I think their whole struggle was worth it. And I think we could end it off there on an emotional teardropper.
Yeah.
Tearjerker.
Hey, yo.
But yeah, you know who we are. We're the Footy Culture. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And professional footballers out there, make sure you like your job, all right? Oh, here, make sure you like your job.
Don't be brats, eh?
Don't be brats.
This guy.
Pointing at the wrong camera. Anyway, you know who we are. We're the Culture, man.
And with
See ya.
that, we out.
Later,
boys.
And if you're listening on
Okay, Mr.
Spotify,
Roger, come on.
Apple Podcasts, leave a like, leave a 5 stars. We love you. Sure, boys. Come on, Arsenal!